So we all know that preparation is good for us, but we often underestimate the power that preparation gives us, right? So in today's episode, we're going to talk about the power of preparation. Welcome to the Less is More for Leaders podcast, the ultimate guide for leaders who want to achieve more by doing less. I'm Louise Ledbrook, a high-performance productivity coach and business leader with over 20 years experience. Get ready for a life-changing ride as my guests and I explore how you can create space in your life to focus on what truly matters, both in business and in your personal life. We'll be sharing simple yet powerful strategies and stories of success, so get ready to unleash your full potential. Preparation is so much more than just prepping the lunches for the week or packing the school bag for tomorrow. There are actually 3 categories that I like to talk about when I talk about preparation. It's not just about, like I said, preparing food and things like that. There's actually a lot more to it. And the problem we have, though, is that people avoid preparation because it feels tedious, it feels boring, it feels like admin, right? No one likes doing admin. So we avoid it. Right. And I get it. I totally get it. No one likes tedious. And then when we batch our prep, we're like, oh, it's like all the tedious things all together in one go. Right. So I can understand how that feels like hell. But sometimes we've got to go through a little bit of hell to get to heaven. Yeah. Because if we prioritize preparation, it can help us actually bring a sense of control and order into our chaotic lives. Who isn't in a chaos life at the moment, like it's crazy. And, if we're coming up to that festive season and it's just going to get crazier. And so it can help us stay focused. It can help us stay on track, and it ensures that our energy and our time is put into the most important things. So preparation is the action or process of preparing or being prepared for use or consideration. Okay, so it is the action of preparing something. Yeah, we all know what that is. It helps us stay focused. It helps us stay on track. It removes distractions as well, which is really important. We live in a highly distracted world at the moment. It allows you to make good decisions about where you spend your time. And one of the things that's really important that I want to mention is it removes decision fatigue. Okay, with leaders, that is a huge one. With mothers, with women who run households, decision fatigue is a really big problem. So in decision-making and psychology, decision fatigue refers to the deteriorating quality of decisions made by an individual after a long session of decision-making. So you've spent your whole day making decisions in your business, and you spend your whole evening making decisions for the family. What are we going to eat? What are we going to wash? What are we going to do? Who needs to do what? Like, you make decisions constantly, right? And it's now understood that it is one of the causes of making irrational trade-offs in decision-making is having that decision fatigue, right? So we end up making poor decisions because we have decision fatigue. So when I talk about preparing yourself and taking away some of the tedium from day to day, but batching it into one go, it means you've taken those little decisions out of the day, and it means that you will have less decision fatigue. You'll have more capacity to make the big important decisions as they come up. Okay, now that definition came from Wikipedia, but it makes sense to me, right? Because I get decision fatigue. Do you get when you get to the end of the day and someone says to you, oh, I don't know, what should we have for dinner? What do you want for dinner? You're like, I do not want to think about dinner. It's such a small decision, but it's just another decision. You're like, I don't know. Like, someone else make that decision for me, right? And that's fine when it's dinner. But when it's something important in your business or in your life or for your well-being, you don't want to be in that fatigue state. So preparation helps us remove small decisions from the day. You don't have to think about what to wear. You don't have to think about what to eat. You don't have to think about packing the bag. Those things have been removed from your day. Sometimes you don't even have to think about the day-to-day tasks that you have to do, okay? And then the big decisions come up and you're like, I got this, I got capacity for this. Yeah. So the 3 categories that I mentioned that I consider when I'm thinking about preparation is planning, rituals, and then the actual physical preparation process. Yeah. So when we do talk about making meals, packing bags, preparing your outfits for the week, that is actually the preparation process. Yeah. So let's talk about each of them because they are all as important as each other. They do slightly different things for you, but they are all about helping you be prepared and helping you make better decisions in your life. So when we talk about planning, I'm talking about your daily plan, what you need to plan for the week, your quarterly planning in your business, your annual planning in your business, all of those planning strategies and techniques that you put in place. Your goal review, your actual planning of your milestones and your outcomes in your business quarterly or annually, your weekly tasks and appointments for the week. So when you plan out the week, actually sit down every week and go, what have I got on this week? Can I handle those appointments? You know, what are the major tasks that need to be achieved this week? Planning those things out by thinking about them. And then daily plan. If you've watched me for long enough, you know about my mighty powerful daily plan and how much I'm in love with it because it means every single day I'm heading towards my goals and I've made sure of it because I planned it, right? So not only does planning and preparation help you be in control, give you clarity, remove the decision fatigue, it helps you feel good, right? You can get to the end of your day and go, tick, tick, tick. I did those things. Yeah. Tick, tick. I did the things I said I would do because I created a realistic plan by preparing myself for that. Yeah. Anyway, planning. Okay. So all of the plans, they're important. They are types of preparation. Then we have rituals. Okay. A good old morning ritual, a sleep ritual, a focus ritual, an end of day ritual. All of those things are about preparing you for that next stage, the next activity, the next day, whatever it happens to be. They are also preparing you mind, body, spirit for the thing that's to come. Okay. Again, it helps with removing decisions because if you've ritualized it, you're like, doing the thing. This is my ritual. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just going through the motions. It's like those times when you're like, you know, you drive to school or you drive to work or something. You're like, how did I get here? I don't even remember. It's ritualized, you know, it's so habitual that you don't even have to think about it anymore. But you did think about it subconsciously. The beauty of it is you've embedded it in your subconscious. The plan, the ritual, the steps have been embedded in your subconscious, and you don't really have to consciously think about it. I need to look at the science behind this, but I feel like conscious decision-making takes more energy than subconscious decision-making. Anyway, I'll look at the science on that and I'll let you know if that's true or it's just something I just decided because it feels right. Anyway, so those rituals are the next thing in your preparation. And it also, so if you're one of those people that is dealing with burnout, chronic fatigue, any of those chronic illnesses, if you're just a really bloody busy, tired leader, ritualizing these things and putting these preparation steps in place will help you maintain and make good decisions for your well-being as well. Okay, because if we're just running through life just ad hoc, like literally if every single moment of our day is ad hoc and not and none of it is preconceived or considered, then we're not actually making sure that we're doing the right things for us and our well-being and helping us move forward in our journey of health, success, business, life, whatever it happens, career, you know, whatever it happens to be. Because a lot of you listeners out there are on a health journey alongside your business journey. And we need them to cohesively work together. But if we haven't considered how that might work in a day for us, then who knows what we'll do and whether we're doing things that are detrimental to our well-being. Yeah. If we ritualize our mornings, we will start the day doing the things that we know will serve us for the rest of the day. Eat the right things, take our supplements, drink some water, make sure that we get up at a time that allows us the space to do the things we need in the morning to have a great day. So that's just an example. But if we haven't thought about it, we just go straight into the day in chaos. Yeah. So we want to consider our rituals. Yeah. So I'm not going to go too much more into the actual rituals, of course, but that is definitely something that I teach with my clients, because I know the benefits of rituals, and I've seen it in my clients, and I help them design their own if they haven't got them. Yeah. Now, then we go to the actual process of preparation. Now, again, I don't know about anyone else, but cooking is one of my least favorite. No, let me get that right. Weekday necessary cooking is one of my least favorite things to do. I love it when I've got like a free weekend and I can like hand make pasta and we make ravioli and we like mess up the whole kitchen and it's relaxed and we're drinking champagne and we're listening to music. That kind of cooking I like, that's my kind of cooking. But that end of day, I've got to feed the family. No one's going to like what I cook anyway. I've got to cook 3 meals because everyone doesn't like the same thing. Like that kind of cooking is tedious to me. And so as much as I can prepare that and simplify that, that is a win for me. And if that means sometimes I buy in my meals, I have a provider which makes fresh, locally, it uses local produce, fresh meals. I buy them in for myself. I know they're healthy and I know I'm getting what I need. Sometimes I do that. And sometimes I need to prepare the meals for the family. So my husband and I, we do a week on, week off. So 1 week I cook and prepare the meals. The next week he does it, right? So it's great. 1 week I don't have to think about it at all. So my decisions around cooking has been removed once a fortnight. It's amazing. I love it. But then there is a week that I have to. So I will plan what the meals are going to be, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the whole family at the start of the week. Make sure I have all of those products in the house, so I shop for them. And I know exactly what we're going to do for the week. I know which days what meals are going to be on as well. I don't just go, here's 5 meals or here's 7 meals. I work out which day each of them is going to fall on. A couple of reasons for that. One, sometimes you buy something and it only lasts, like if you buy seafood, you don't want it sitting in the fridge for 7 days, fresh seafood, because that's gross. And so that needs to be at the start of the week. Or, the kids have soccer and cheer training and all that sort of stuff every night of the week. And some of the days start earlier than others. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to have to eat dinner at 5 o'clock this day. So I need to cook that because that's really simple and quick. And then we can quickly eat it and head off to training. And so that's why I've thought about those things already. So I don't have to think about them on the day. All right, guys, this is what we're doing today. I don't have to think about it. We're just rolling with the punches. Yeah, because that's what the plan says. So meal preparation. And then if I cook my own meals, I could prepare 5 lunches on a Sunday. They're already prepared. Stick them in the fridge. Great. Just pull one out every day. So meal prep, because I know a lot of people talk about meal, and there's some great meal prep services out there, menu planners, all that kind of stuff. Definitely look at those things, because again, it takes away the decision even more for you. But eating is a huge part of our lives. So don't underestimate the time, energy, and thought process that goes into cooking, preparing, thinking about breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, right? So I try not to snack too much, of course, but the kids have snacks and they have, recess at lunch and all that sort of stuff. So they need to be included in the thought process as well. And so it's a lot. It's a lot. Don't underestimate it. And if you're struggling with your fatigue, think about outsourcing it if you can afford it, because sometimes it is more expensive and you can do that. It's available in your area, because the best thing is to be able to grab a healthy meal when you're hungry or have the energy to eat it. Because, like if you're tired and you don't have a meal there, you're going to go for the snack, the Mars bar, the chips, because they're right there and you're like, and you can eat it really quickly and easily. So preparing the food is actually also really important for your well-being, especially, well, generally, but especially if you're recovering from health issues. Okay. So when I first was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, I was home on my own. but my mum bought me microwave meals. And the healthiest that she could find back then, it was the 90s, but the healthiest she could find, or something I could just chuck in the oven, fish, I would stick a baked potato, not a baked potato, like a whole potato. I'd stick it in the microwave, right? And then there'd be some toppings that mum had prepared for me that I could stick on my potato. So, a prepared salad, So when I was in that stage, like I couldn't cook myself meals. And so mum, bless her, made sure that I could easily grab something because it was very important for me to also make sure I was nourished and eating properly. Okay, we've talked enough about meal planning and shopping and all that kind of stuff. Or doing online shopping as well. Anyway, so the next thing is, and a lot of successful people do this. I don't know, at the moment when I'm recording this, the Beckham documentary on Netflix has just come out recently. And if you've seen his wardrobe, oh my God, love it. He's like, that's what my wardrobe looks. Actually, his looks a little bit better than mine. I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest. But also he preps his clothes for the week. That's really good. And he's not the only celebrity, successful business person that does that. It's so easy, right? You just go, I do 5 days. I don't do 7 days worth of clothes. I do 5 days worth of clothes. And I'll put them on the rack. They're there ready to go. And I just pick them up each day. There's occasionally a day where I go, oh, I picked something a bit too cold for the day and you have to work something out. But normally there's a jacket or something available. And then I actually normally do my exercise clothes the night before rather than a week's worth of exercise clothes. But that's something you can do as well. So wardrobe and outfit planning, take the decision out of the day. Literally, you get up in the morning, you have a shower, you put the clothes on. Sometimes you stand in front of the wardrobe and go, I don't know, what do I want to wear? And you've tried on 5 outfits. Nope, just decide at the start of the week and just wear the outfit for the day. So I pick the outfits and I even pick the days and I even look at the weather. I look at the weather for the week and go, cold, 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 hot, hot, hot. And so I pick 2 cold outfits and 2 hot outfits sort of thing. I look at the weather. So where I live, that matters. You can go from 30 degrees one day and then 20 degrees the next day and you're completely different outfit. So I do that. And then I prep the kids for school. So at the start of the week, we pack all their little snacks in their boxes because I don't like to buy chip packets and stuff. So we put them in plastic containers so that they can bring them home. Better for the environment. And prepare the kids' lunches as much as possible for the week. Get up in the morning, prepare the lunches. So any kids prep, making sure the uniforms are washed for soccer and et cetera, et cetera. Your exercise planning. This is a big one because some people go, if I haven't thought about it, or if I haven't said I'm going to do a pump class that day, or I'm going to do a spin class that day, they avoid going to the gym at all because they haven't made a decision. They haven't actually made the decision yet to go. If you plan out your exercise, and it could be, I'm going to walk every day. It could be, I'm going to cycle, or I'm going to do some Pilates 2 days and I'm going to walk these other days. And you say which days you intend to do them on. It doesn't always go to plan. That's okay. But if you set an intention, then you're more likely to do it. Yeah. Exercise planning. I like to do programs and challenges. So Les Mills app is actually where I go, and I will plan. I'll just do a 6-week challenge in the Les Mill app, or I'll go through all of the lessons in a particular, like the strength training as an example, strength development training or whatever. I'll go through all of them. And so I'll just say, well, these are the days I do weight training, and I'm going to just go to the next one in the app. Yeah, I do love the challenges. They've got a 6-week strength training program, and they've got some great challenges in there. Challenges work for me. Yeah, because I'm I don't want to break the challenge. So I do the thing. Making lunches, packing school bags, packing gym bags, packing work bags, all of those sorts of things as well. So they're just some examples of physical preparation activities. So I talked about 3 different preparation categories today. You've got your planning, you've got your rituals, and you've got your physical preparation process. I'd like you to consider which of those actually would support you right now in your journey, wherever you're at. Do not now try and go, I'm going to do a plan. and 15 rituals and prepare everything every day. Don't jump in like that because it gets overwhelming and you won't do it all. Pick one thing that I've spoken about today and start to implement that in your life. Now, look, for me, I think I've talked about this in other times, but for me to embed something in my life, it's kind of needs to be habitually done. I need to like tick it off and physically make myself do it for 90 to 120 days. A lot of people can do 21 days, 30 days, 60 days for it to be embedded in their life. Doesn't matter. Pick 30 days. It's a good number. And say for the next 30 days, I am going to make sure I've done meal prep, or I'm going to do a daily plan, or I'm going to plan out my week every Sunday for the next month. Pick one thing and start implementing it and start feeling the benefits. And also everything, is like implement, try, refine. Yeah. Because nothing ever is right the first time. Yeah. It's like any of these kind of rituals or processes. Implement, try, refine. Yeah. Try it, refine it, test it, measure, all of those things. So it's kind of a cycle until it feels right. Yeah. You might pick the day. It might be the wrong day. You try Sunday, it doesn't work. It might need to be Monday. I don't know. So work that out. Don't overdo it as well. Don't go, I'm going to do a morning ritual with 27 steps. Like that's a lot, unless each of those steps includes the different layers of skincare, like we've got the retinol, we've got the peptides. Anyway, so be just really careful of being simple, really simple. One thing I want you to choose, just one thing. You might be going, I want to do all the things. Just pick one thing and try it for 21 days or 30 days, and then add another thing on. Once that's part of your life, it's easier to add another thing in. Trying to start 15 new things, you fail all of them. Okay. So I want you to just pick one, embed it in your life. Then you can pick something else to happen next. Doing a plan, like sitting down, and if you haven't got a goal plan, that's a good thing to do. It's a one-off at this point. Like you should review them, refine them, all that sort of thing. But it's a big thing you can do one-off. So you could do that and then add another ritual or preparation activity in. But if you don't do any planning, weekly or daily at this point, I would pick one of those to start with, to be honest. And you can look through some of my other videos and you'll find videos on me talking about the daily plan. So important. And it's important for me. It really is a lifesaver for me. So I teach all my clients to do it. And so look for the video on the daily plan as something that you could pick as a starting point. Anyway, planning, the power of planning. It's amazing. It'll change your life. You just have to actually give it a go. And I'd love to hear how it's gone for you. And if you would like to hear more of this kind of stuff, then like, share, press the buttons, comment below. And you can also join me in my Female Leaders Thriving with Chronic Fatigue Facebook group, where I have weekly trainings and downloads and just a really lovely, beautiful community where we help be more productive, joyous, and hitting our goals without feeling like crap. Okay, hope to see you there. See you next time.